Hey there, it's Carrie here at Treatment Unicorn and welcome to Unicorn You. This week we are going to be jumping into 5 different joyous nuggets of wisdom, techniques that I can share with you which are going to just light up your business. It's so incredibly important as an entrepreneur that you use your intuition, your wisdom, your skills, and that real positive mindset that you're cultivating to build an incredible business. The world needs more businesses that are built on love and respect and compassion right now. But in doing that, you have to take care of yourself. Fill the cup before you can give to others. Today, we're going to be talking about the breath and why it's just so important. Now, you've probably noticed, if you're anything like me, I am 40 something. Life has got a lot busier over the last 20-30 years. We've got a lot more incoming stimuli with social media and the internet and all of these things that we didn't really have to worry about when we were kids, and in fact our parents didn't have to worry about as much. So with so much incoming stimuli, we have to work out how to process it better. And we have to give ourselves all of the tools and abilities we've got to put us in our best possible place. I believe that the breath is a really overlooked tool, and yet it's super simple to tap into. And it makes such a difference as far as clarity and creativity and focus goes. So we're going to be looking at the diaphragmatic breath. The diaphragm is if you think of it like a bowl, it's a bowl of muscle that sits towards the bottom of your lungs and your ribs and just above your gut, and it creates the bellows, the suction that draws air in as you expand your lungs. Now, when we are stressed, we tend to breathe quite shallowly, and I can explain why, and in fact we cover this quite a lot in one of my courses, Creative Soul Bomb. But just to quickly give you an idea, think about this. Like I said, our lives have got busier. There is more stimuli. Our culture and community has evolved more rapidly than the physiology of our brain. That means the oldest part of our brain, the brainstem or the limbic system, is still responding to stimuli as though it was a saber-toothed tiger. That means it's really prone to setting us off with adrenaline and igniting that fight or flight response. What we need to do is take control of the breath, which allows us to switch away from that adrenaline response and the stress and towards a more relaxed response. Learning to use our breath is about learning to calm the body. We're going to do a really simple diaphragmatic breathing technique that's going to get you in that good place. Okay, so we're going to use a little bit of magic of the body that we all have. We're going to use some muscle activation points. If you think about this bony plate here, so this is your sternum. I want you to rub your sternum, and wherever you find it's a bit tacky and a bit I want you to give it a little bit of extra fuss. Okay, so we're going to rub up and down, up and down, up and down. Why are we rubbing? Well, the sternum is a set of muscle activation points, which are like circuits between the brain and the diaphragm. So for us to be able to engage the diaphragm, we need to get the brain to be talking really clearly to it. We do this by switching that connection on and off by rubbing just up and down the sternum. That's going to make it easier for us to fill deep into the belly with breath. Okay? So the difference between a regular everyday breath, where the ribs move up and down, and a deeper diaphragmatic breath is that the belly should actually expand. You should feel 3-dimensional growth as you pull air down into the lower lobes of your lungs. Okay? So, place one hand on your belly. I come up on my toes, you'll be able to see me a little more. One hand on your belly and one hand up here on your ribs. You want this hand to stay as still as possible, and this lower hand is going to move as you breathe in and out. Ready? Let's give it a go. Nice deep breath in and then out. You may find that feels quite tricky, so let's give this another little rub. And what I'm also going to get you to do is rub around the bottom of your rib, so the very bottom rib here, give that a good rub around there as well. And you may feel like that just has with me that your breath already kicks in, so let's give it another go. Breathing nice and deep into the belly, keep this top hand flat so your ribs aren't going to lift, okay, ready? I'm just going to settle onto my heels. The best way to practice this breath work is laid down. Obviously, for the purposes of the video, it helps if I'm talking to you rather than reclined out on the bed. But if you're finding it difficult, try being laid down. That takes your postural muscles out of the equation as well. Now, one more deep breath. And when you get to the top of the breath, I want you to count mentally to 2 before you breathe out, okay? You will find that your ribs do move more on the out breath, but try and keep all that focus on the in breath about expanding your belly and really drawing that breath down. If you're still struggling to get the breath down, try this extra point. Okay, so middle of your forehead, find your hairline and go 1 inch back and just try pressing there. And again, breathe nice and deep into your belly. You may find that felt significantly easier. Okay, so your action step for today is just to spend 10 minutes practicing that diaphragmatic breath and see if you can draw the breath nice and deep into your diaphragm. You may find that your tummy starts to rumble as you do this, and that's a really good sign. When we're in a stressed place, we tend not to activate our digestive system as much because all of our resources are being prepared for in case we have to fight or flight. When we become more relaxed, we find that stress level drops and our digestion starts to kick in. And when the digestion kicks in, the first thing you'll hear is your tummy rumble. Tomorrow, we are going to be looking at more good stuff, so join me then. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. Take care. I'll see you later.